What's up, guys? Dustin McDangles back here with another video, and this is the NHL Franchise Mode series with the Nebraska Bucks as we are at the midway point of the 2027-2028 NHL season, and we are sitting pretty there in third place in the division. We are high in the rankings in the conference itself, and in today's episode we'll be getting through the rest of this regular season and getting into the playoffs. Obviously, we will also be going through the trade deadline to see if we do make any moves, which honestly I feel like we should be fine moving forward. But before we do move on and get into some things here in today's episode, if you guys did miss the last episode, I'll drop a card in the top right hand corner right now so you guys can go ahead and check that out so you are all caught up to date. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and take a look. I want to start this episode off by taking a look here at the team contracts. I took a look here before the episode. We've got a couple of big time players who are up for contract after this season. Volchenkov being the top man we're going to need to re-sign, and we do have a lot of cap space after getting rid of Seth Jones, which is good. That'll give us some space. We've got $25 million to work with, which is great because Volchenkov wants about $10 million. So that is a hefty price for Volchenkov, but definitely worth the paycheck. Ahonen is going to be another player who's up for contract. He wants $8 million. We'll be able to possibly get him down to, I'd say, $7.5 million for 5 years. Rasmus Sandin is going to want an extension, and he wants $6 million. So we're going to have to try and re-sign him as well. And then getting down here, Roslovic wants re-signed, but he actually wants it at a pretty decent deal at $2.275 million, which if we actually get him for 3 years at maybe $2 million, I feel like that would be a great deal. Get him to 33 years of age. I'm going to offer that right now, and we'll see what he says here in a few days. But other than him, we've got Tartukin. He's a top 6 forward, medium potential. He only wants a bridge deal, which we could give him a second year, and he does want a little bit more, but I feel like we could get him down to at least 2.8. Rutter is also going to want to re-sign. He wants a 2-year deal at 1.95, which I feel like we could maybe even get him for a cheaper rate, which I'm going to offer that right now to see what he says. Saishian is going to be the one player we might have to let go because he wants $3 million for 1 year, and that's just not going to be able to fly with these other players here that we're going to need to re-sign. So it's going to be interesting for sure. I do also want to take a look here at the halfway point with our scouting. It looks like we're going to have to reassign our scouts here to make sure that they are up to date and scouting here for the draft, which for some reason I cannot get to view the draft class. We'll take a look here at the initial look and see what players are up for the draft. Again, we've got big time players here at the top, which it actually looks like they are fully scouted here. Lassi Berg and Jussi Kukkonen, both on the same team from Finland, which is kind of crazy. No weaknesses. Milan Lucic, so big forward there. Patrick Kane, Jussi Kukkonen, or however the heck you say his name. Those are big time players. Two-way defenseman, two-way forward here with Pritchett. He is Mikko Koivu. So a lot of Finnish players here in this year's draft up at the top of the board, which will be interesting to see. But again, hopefully we might be able to possibly trade up and get a lottery pick in the draft this year. But let's go ahead here. I'm going to assign our scouts, make sure they are continuing to scout, and then we'll get into the simulation here. Alright, guys, so after getting through all of the scouting and making sure that is all up to date, we are now able to go ahead and get started with the simulation here, getting through this month of January. Going to be exciting to see how the team does this month, as we ended off the last episode with a very good run of form, and Roslovic is going to re-sign that offer, or re-sign with the squad, which is great. We get him at a bargain price, which I'm really happy that we were able to get that. Rutter is also going to re-sign there at a discount rate, as well as we continue on with our winning ways. Savari is actually going to be injured, so we're going to have to make some changes here. to the defensive lineup, and I don't know if we've got any players back that we can put in there, and it actually looks like Rudder. We are able to get back into the lineup here. He is off of injury. Jake McCabe, who is on waivers, we're not going to be able to take on that salary. We'll let him go. Curtis Lazar, that could be interesting. Let's take a look here at his player info. 78 overall, 32 years old. He's got 1 year left on his deal, and it is a two-way deal. So that actually might be a nice little claim there for the AHL squad, and get him in, see what he can do, as we are off to a great start here with this simulation so far. And I want to get that Lazar guy into the lineup. Is he technically scratched? He is scratched. So let's see what lines he fits for the AHL. It does look like he's only really going to fit that first line. So taking a look, there's really nobody we could possibly swap him out for. Maybe go for that fourth line. Can we maybe move him up? I don't want to move Akers or Downing, and this Anderchuk kid, I do want to continue giving him a chance to play a decent minutes, but he hasn't done as well as I thought he would. So let's actually move him down, give this Lazar guy a chance on that third line as we continue on with the NHL simulation. We finally lose there, losing to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are going to be a tough team. We possibly, if we make the Stanley Cup Finals, could see them again. So we get back-to-back wins there against some decent opponents with the Predators and Devils, as we got a lot of coaches being fired here. Montreal and Nashville just getting fired there. Back-to-back games there. We end up splitting that series. Lazar actually injured. He's out until February, so just picking that guy up off of waivers is now officially out. Janssen is going to be out until February 1st. They pulled groin, so that leaves a hole there on that second line, which we're going to have to fill here. Let's see if Kraus fits that. He does get a +5 on that second line. That's actually kind of crazy. We might, I don't know if we roll with that the rest of the year. That would actually be kind of crazy. Does anybody else get the +5? Ooh, Byfield up there gets the +5, which could be interesting. Ooh, that's a really tough call. Byfield, Suzuki plays center, but let's see. Faceoffs 81. Byfield's faceoffs are 87. Maybe we move Kraus down. We move Roslovic to the middle, and then we'll move Suzuki to the wing, getting that +5. Maybe that's how we roll the rest of the year with that line. That's actually a nice little find there with those pluses. We get the 4-3 win there against the Wild. Big game here against Detroit. Just as we were speaking about that line and keeping that together, Suzuki's out until April 5th. That is a long time without a top player, so that is a big dagger to the lineup. We're going to have to take a look at scratch players, and our only player we could bring in is Savari. So we'll move this around. Kraus there, he doesn't get the +5 anymore. Why is that? That is actually quite interesting. We're going to move this around here. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to play Savari here at forward for a little bit until February 1st when we get Janssen back. So we'll let him heal up one more game here as we get against the Winnipeg Jets. Able to get some players back to some good health. And right now it is a battle here for the Western Conference. So let's take a look here at team stats really quickly. Scheifele leading the way in points. Let's go ahead and edit our lines back by getting Janssen back on that second line. So we'll move Savari out, throw Janssen in. He is the sniper, and we'll throw him up here on that second pairing. Oh, that's why the +5's gone, because Suzuki was the one who was actually getting that +5 in the first place. So we're going to have to leave Byfield there for now. Janssen is back to good health, which is great. So losing Suzuki here until April really is a dagger for sure to the lineup. As let's simulate here through the Coyotes. Burke is back, and we actually get the win in overtime against the Coyotes. So big win there. We are tied with the Blackhawks in in points with 68. It's a three-way tie at the top in the Central Division. So that is going to be a really tough first playoff series if we get either second or third in the division. Man, this is crazy stuff. Let's take a look at the West. 68 points. I mean, it is a big gap here then to the second wild card. 62. I mean, that's not a lot. That's not a big gap there. Take a look at the entire league. The Bruins leading the way. We're actually catching up. We're only 2 points behind the Bruins for their President's Trophy race. So the boys are buzzing. It's just a matter of trying to stay healthy here in this stretch of February, getting into March and seeing what we can do. So let's go ahead and simulate up to the trade deadline here as we will get through this month of February. Hopefully we don't take too many injuries. Big win there actually against the Islanders. Big game here against the Lightning, and it's a 6-1 win. So big win there. Another big win against the Flames. Against the Penguins, it's another big win. 8-4 win there. Big battle against the Bruins. We end up losing that one 5-3. Comeback performance against the Canadiens, and we win that one 8-3. Big win against the Flyers 5-2. Big game here against Vancouver. We win that 4-2. Game against the Avalanche. We lose 1-0. That's a heartbreaker. Carter Hart is going to be out until March 4th. That is a big dagger. That might be the nail in the coffin here for trying to go for that President's Trophy. Thankfully, we still have Hunter Jones. He has 78 overall, so our goaltending might be an issue here as we go down the stretch. Big win there against the Kings. Back-to-back here, and we get 2 massive wins. And Carter Hart's back, so we'll let him heal up. Wow. And we're here at the trade deadline right now. So we could make some moves here. Maybe get a 1-year player just for making a run here for the Cup. Let's just go with conservative buyer. Let's enter the trade deadline and see who is up, as the boys have actually been buzzing. Clayton Keller, he's up. He's got 1 year left on his deal. That could be interesting. He is 29 years old. I don't know. Janssen, why is he up? That is interesting. 2 years and 4-3. I mean, that's a great deal. I don't want to give him up. Sam Steele is up. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Texier, Kapanen plays for the Ducks. Tyler Seguin is up for trade. He's got 1 year at $10 million, which is crazy. Ross Levick also up for some reason. But at this rate, I don't feel like we really need to give anybody up. Let's take a quick look here at value. Again, Suzuki injured, which kind of sucks. Volchenkov, Scheifele, I mean, we're good there. That Julien guy, he's doing very well. Let's see how he's actually doing. I mean, he's putting up some great points in the queue right now, so it'll be nice to eventually get him into the squad. Sandin, I mean, he's playing pretty well. Rudder, Oduya here, he's still over in Europe, tearing it up. I mean, not the best of stats, but again, we'll eventually get him into the squad. We'll sign him, and he can play some AHL for us for a little bit. Richie here, he's got 2 years left at a good deal at 32 years old. So again, I don't feel like we really need to make any moves here this trade deadline. I feel like the team is pretty much set, just because with a lot of the pieces out there, there's not a lot of value that I see, at least. So we'll exit here the trade deadline, and we'll go from there. Again, it's just a matter of keeping the squad healthy, making sure that we continue on in good form. And it looks like our backup goalies right now are doing a pretty good job of that. Trade alert here, Keller went to Ottawa. Let's see who else went anywhere. 2 first-round picks to San Jose for that Starbuck kid. Giroux and Corsten to Columbus, from Texier to Boston. That's actually a big move there for Boston. Sam Steele and Niederreiter to Calgary for a first-round pick and a couple players. And it looks like those were the only big trades here as we will get in. I think let's actually simulate up here to the Sharks. Give Carter Hart some more time to heal up as we actually lose to the Panthers there 6-4. Carter Hart's fully healed from his injury, which is great. So we can go ahead, throw him back into the lineup as we make this run here for the playoffs. Wanting to push hard here. Again, Hunter Jones, not the best of stats. Tucker Tynan really playing well for his overall. So let's throw Carter Hart back into the lineup. His morale is a little low, which is quite interesting. So let's swap that around. Stats aren't the best. He's got 30 wins in 45 games played with those stats, so that's not too terrible. We really need Suzuki to get back into the lineup so we can get that bonus on that second line. Volchenkov with 78 points in 63 games, so he's going to want a big-time payday. Originally, he wanted $10 million when we started the episode. I wonder what he actually wants now. And maybe we offer him now before maybe he wants a little bit more at the end of the season. And let's see what Volchenkov wants now. He wants $11 million now. Oh, man, and if he keeps buzzing on, we're not going to be able to afford a big-time contract. So let's actually offer him $10,625 there for 7 years. Would he even maybe go 8? And that would... let's try and get that for 8 years and see what he does. I mean, that's a lot of money we're throwing out there to Volchenkov, so it'll be interesting to see if he will accept that little pay cut. We probably should have given him that contract at the start of the episode, but hey, I'm glad he's really popping off. I would rather pay him the money he wants than let him go. He is, again, our top pick we've had in our franchise, and Volchenkov will sign that big pay cut. So that'll save us a little bit of money there as we actually lose to the Sharks. Big game there against the Ducks, so lost there as well. So we're sliding down the rankings, which kind of sucks because I really want to push for that President's Trophy. Big win there against the Rangers. Back-to-back games. Get a win against the Oilers, a win against the Sabres. So that brings our hopes back to possibly running for this President's Trophy. As a loss there to the Hurricanes kind of hurts those hopes. Carter Hart injured again. Out until March 29th. That really does suck because he is a go-to player. He's down to 84 overall. What is going on with Carter Hart? We really can't find a goalie to save our life. We're gonna have to roll with. I said we just roll with Tynan and Hunter Jones here the rest of this month, even if Carter Hart does come back. Win there against the Blues. Overtime loss against the Golden Knights. Massive loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs, which really hurts. Honen's going to be out until April 7th, so we're dropping like flies right now, which does hurt our chances if we do want to push here for the playoffs. So let's get Savary into the lineup here. Who fits that top pair? Rudder's down to a 78. And I'd rather have Tavares there with Tinkanoff. So our top two pairs looking semi-decent. Big win there against the Caps. We're going to let Hart sit on the bench a little bit. So we get a win there against the Preds. Suzuki is back, so we'll let him get back to good health here. Getting a lot of guys back here from injury. Big win there against the Devils. Can we come up clutch here against the Blue Jackets? We can. We actually get 2 big wins there at the end of March to give us a fighting chance here for this President's Trophy. So let's actually get our lineup fixed here before we head into this final stretch. I want those pluses big time here on that second line. So Janssen back to good health. I think the play here, let's try scratching Saishian here. We'll throw Suzuki in. He is 89 overall. And let's move him up to the second line, and then if we move Byfield on the wing, oh man, I don't know if I want to move Janssen down this far in the lineup because he does get the +3 there, and Byfield only gets the +1 there. And then we move Richie around Roslovic there on the third line. I feel like that's what we have to do just with the overalls. Again, I don't want to move Janssen down. He's had a great year, so I really don't want to move him down. So we'll keep it at that and see what we can do here in this last month. Let's quickly take a look around the standings. We've got 107 points. Avalanche have 108, and it looks like that is the battle for the President's Trophy. So it's going to come down to the wire. We're going to have to keep winning games. We've got a big game here against the Wild. Let's take a look. We don't play the Avalanche the rest of the way, so it's coming down to if we can win and they lose. So big game against the Wild, 4-3 win. Can we win against Detroit? That's a 7-4 win. That is huge. Honen's able to come back. We're actually going to let him heal up for the playoffs. Game against the Jets, 3-1 win. Game against the Coyotes, 4-1 win. And a game against the Blackhawks is a 5-4 overtime win. And that, I just saw that. I just saw out of the corner of my eye. I think we won the division. We won the division handily, guys. A big clutch there at the end of the year. And it looks like we won the President's Trophy once again, guys. That is awesome. Scheifele with an incredible year. We finally have a player hitting the 100-point mark for the first time in Nebraska Bucks history. Vasilinen having a strong year as well, almost hitting that 100-point mark. We had 3 players 90 points or higher. And I think if Suzuki did not get injured, he would have been up there as well. That is crazy stuff. Crazy offensive output. Honestly, Tippett and Janssen really stepping up. Tippett having more than a point per game, which is really awesome to see. I want to see our goalies, how we finished up. Carter Hart, not the best of stats. He almost got that back to a 900 save percentage. Tucker Tynan playing great. And then Hunter Jones, not the best, but not expecting too much from him at a 78 overall goaltender. Carter Hart's down to an 82 overall. That's actually insane. I don't know how he dropped that far that quickly, but that is crazy. We just can't catch a break with goalies right now, as this Bryson Stock kid, best goalie in the league, at least when it comes to wins. Let's take a look at points here. Let's see how, holy smokes. Just when I thought Scheifele was going to have a great year and be up there for points, not even close. Austin Matthews, 132 points in 1 year. That is absolutely insane. If he doesn't win all of the awards, I would be shocked. Draisaitl up there. Stamkos up there at 38 years old. That's a very good year for an old man. Patrick Kane as well, 39 years old, putting up 121 points. Scheifele is up there, 104. He was tied with Kucherov. He actually did better than McDavid, which is kind of crazy. Scheifele is also 35, so hopefully we can get a couple more good years out of him. But that's 2 years in a row with the President's Trophy. Let's take a look at the AHL team and see how they finished up. 110 points isn't good enough to win the league, but it is good enough to win the division. Let's take a look here at their lines really quickly. I want to make sure that they've been playing the right guys, and it looks like they sort of have. They haven't been playing this Lazar guy, which is quite frustrating, but it is what it is. Let's take a look here at Akers. He did put up some pretty good points, which I'm happy with. We'll check Downing. He didn't put up as good of points as I thought he would. Andrew Chuck, he put up decent points. So our young guns playing very well. On the back end here, where is our one defenseman? Oh, wow, he's not even in the lineup right now. Novikov, 59 games played, plus 18, not terrible, 85 penalty minutes. Not too bad, 6'4" defenseman. So nice to see him playing well. Racy in here, pretty decent year. Carrick didn't play that much, so squad, obviously, they're going to the playoffs as well. So let's actually take a look here. We'll simulate a few days here and actually take a look and see who we're going to be playing first round of the playoffs, which, man, it's going to be tough here regardless. We're playing the St. Louis Blues, which actually might be a blessing in disguise. Let's take a look at the rest of the playoffs. Let's see what we got for the playoff tree. So we've got the Blues first round, Avalanche, Wild, Flames, and Canucks, Edmonton and Chicago, and then over in the East we've got the Islanders, Hurricanes, Rangers, Red Wings, Battle of Florida again. I believe that's the second or third straight year that has happened. between Tampa and Florida. And then we've got the battle of basically that Buffalo, Ontario area, which is going to be Toronto and Buffalo. So that'll be a fun series to watch. Again, President's Trophy winners for the second straight year in a row. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked, especially with where our team was at the start of the year, getting rid of Seth Jones, getting the goaltender change. So definitely going to be interesting here what we can do moving forward. But that's going to be it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like. In the next episode, we'll be getting into the playoffs, so those are always fun episodes, so make sure you don't miss out on that. But I hope you guys have a good one, and as always, stay dusty.